Monica from Life is Art, and this is the Sunday 5 p.m. demo at the Pet Parade online crop. And we are going to be chilling like a penguin this evening. We are going to be creating a page using the new, or not the new, we're going to be creating a page for the basic black album that I've been working on, and I've been creating pages with photos in here and kind of getting myself organized. We did this one at our last crop, so we're going to create another page today, and we're going to be using one of the new designer series paper collections from the September to December mini catalog that just launched on the 4th. And we're going to be using the Snowy Scenes collection. And this is a beautiful wintry scene type of collection. And it features some really adorable penguins. And I had a photo in mind for this page, so I searched and searched and searched, and I found it. Yay! And so that's what we're going to be creating today. Now, I'm only doing a single page layout for this one. I know I have other photos that were taken same day, and so when those photos get printed out, then I will do a second page. So we're just working on a single page for the 6x8 album, and the memory protectors that are used for the album, the photo protectors, are there's a variety pack. So some of them are a full page, some are 2 4x6s, some are 4 3x4s. This one happens to be 2 3x4s on top and 1 4x6 on the bottom. So we're going to use that formula to create the page. Sorry, I have a frog in my throat. If you're joining me live, just say hello or howdy so I know you're here. And if you're watching later on replay, you can say replay. Now, there's a couple of the patterns from the collection that I'm specifically working with, and I'm just going to grab those and bring them in here. The first one is this one with the cute little penguins all over it. And as you can see from the bottom of my sheet, we're doing some fussy cutting from this. The other one that I'm using is this one with the gorgeous large size snow globes. There is another sheet that actually has smaller snow globes, which are great for cards, although these are also a good size for cards if you want one large image. And for my project today, I'm actually using this little snow globe down here, but I'm kind of creating it so it doesn't look like a snow globe in the end. It's just creating a nice little scene. One of my other inspirations for this project was, did you ever watch the movie or read the book, Mr. Popper's Penguins? It's one of those ones that you probably saw when you were a kid, or, you know, it was quite a few years ago that came out. And I just thought that the movie was funny. The book was funny too. But just the thought of somebody living in an apartment and, keeping penguins. So today we were learning about fish and exotic pets. And I think if you had penguins, that would be a pretty exotic pet and probably not recommended. Although they were super fun to go and visit at the Toronto Zoo several years ago when the kids were little. We went and saw the penguins there, and that was exciting because, in real life, we'd never see them in their natural habitat. So Mr. Popper's Penguins. And one of the things that penguins do is they do a little dive and then they slide on their bellies, and they just go all over the place sliding on their belly because that's a super fun way to travel and super fast, as opposed to tromping around on your little feet. And so the picture that I wanted to use for this layout was this picture of my son Joshua, and he's going down the toboggan hill. He's on one of these sort of plastic crazy carpety type things, so you go pretty fast. And of course he went head first, which I never recommend my children to do that. I always tell them you go down the hill feet first. But my husband was in charge for this day. He had them at the park in Beaverton, and he was letting them go down the hill, apparently head first. So he's sliding down basically on his stomach because, you know, a crazy carpet is not much of a buffer between him and the snow, just like a penguin. And in this particular picture, you can see the whole underside of this crazy carpet. This boy was in the air. He was, and look how chill he is. He's just like, hi, like he could be lounging on the couch, looking straight into the camera, half a smile on his face, just woohoo, you know. So I thought, you know, this boy is chill like a penguin. So we are going to be creating a layout kind of along that theme. Good evening, Mary. I see my mom is here too, and Allison. Hey, Janet. Diane found us as well, and Laura. Yay. So we're going to need a couple of penguins from this paper. And so let's grab this little guy with the scarf because it's winter, winter. There we go. And we're going to fussy cut them, obviously. So let's start around here on the nice round top of his head. These are super easy shapes to cut out because penguins in this form are just sort of blobs with legs and arms. And so you just go around the shape. You're going to pivot your paper. You're going to leave a halo of the background and just go to town. Fussy cutting them out. So cute. He's got a cute little scarf on. And there we go. That's it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So I'm going to fussy cut out this little guy. And then this little guy with the little pom-pom hat, because how cute is that? And then there's another pattern paper from this collection that has some snowmen and some trees on it. And so let's pick a snowman here. Let's grab this guy right here. And I'm doing the rough cut right now. And yes, I do this quite often. I will just chop up. I will take one of these pieces of DSP and I'll put a movie on and I will just fussy cut the whole thing. And it's kind of reassuring that there are two of each of them in a collection, because that way, if you want to use one in large pieces, you have that available. And if not, you can fussy cut them both. But you can at least fussy cut one of them. And if all else fails, you just buy another pack, right? If it's something that you're loving. And I find, especially with Christmas papers, if you're somebody who creates Christmas cards and tags and gifting items, you go through a decent chunk of Christmas related papers and stamps and things. And so sometimes you're just going to buy two anyway because you just need it for all of your Christmas projects. There we go. We're going all the way around, fussy cutting out our little snowman. And I'm not going to make you sit and watch me fussy cut the whole time, but we've got our couple little penguins. We've got our snowman. From the snowman, I've also fussy cut a couple of the trees. And now I want to create sort of a background for these little guys. So I have here a piece of basic white that has been cut to 3 by 4, 3 inches by 4 inches. And I've also got just a scrap piece of paper that I pulled out of my drawer. Don't even care what size it is, because I want to create sort of some snowy hill background. I've taken these guys out of the background they were a part of, and I want to build a little bit of a background, and I'm going to create a little scene to go in one of those pockets. So this is going to be a whole embellishment piece of goodness that's happening here. So I'm going to take my paper snips and I'm going to create a mask or a stencil, whichever way you want to look at it. It can kind of be both. So on this side of my mask or stencil, I'm going to go ahead and cut some up and down wavy bits that are kind of, you know, a little bit up and down, up and down. And then on the other side, I'm going to cut sort of a longer down and then up like that. Okay, so we've got now two different patterns. We've got one that's sort of more active, up and down, up and down. And then on the other side, we have a slow curve. Now, you can do a lot with this because we're only using a bit that's this wide, and we've created ours to be a little larger. Now I'm just going to grab some scrap paper. Used it before. It's even wrinkly. And for this, one of the coordinating colors that you see in this collection that's in a lot of the background is Pool Party. And so I've got my little Stampin' spot for Pool Party here. And I'm going to bring in a blending brush. And then this blending brush, we're going to load it up with some Pool Party. And we're going to start inking. Now, the first bit that we're going to ink is going to be where the sky is, right? So up here, we're going to do a little bit of sky. We're going to kind of put this little template on a bit of a downwards angle over here. And we're going to come in and we're going to add some ink. Now I'm going to add a decent amount of ink in this particular section because this is our sky. Okay, so we're going to make sure that we get some good ink coverage. I'll let that go for a second. And come in and get it all good and inky. Like that. Okay. Now, for the remainder of what we're going to do, we are not going to be quite so inky. Okay. So if I lift this up now, you can see we've created sort of a snow hill coming down. We've got some Pool Party sky happening in there. And now let's go ahead. We're going to turn this around so that we've got the more gentle slope. And we're going to tip it the other direction. We're going to ink this up, but this time we're going to come in with a gentler hand. We're going to kind of get that first little skiff of ink off, and then we're going to just lightly ink along that edge, okay? So that we still have sort of this white edge at the top of the hill behind, and the hero closer up has that little bit of shadow behind it. Then let's flip back around to the other side. But this time, let's see, we'll go this way. I'm going to tip it the opposite direction, and we're going to kind of move it along so that we have a different shape that's happening. And something else we can even do, we can flip it over. Look at that. We can flip it over and use the back side. So again, we're going to knock off a little bit of that ink. We're just going to come right along the edge of that mask or stencil that we created and add another layer. So you can see we're creating fun little snow drifts to create a gorgeous background for all those fun snowmen that we've got going on here. Okay, let's add another layer. We're going to tip it the other way, get some ink, knock a little off, and add another layer. So this is a bit of a technique along with the demo. That's kind of how it goes around here. You get a little technique, you get a little demo, and then let's do maybe just one more like that. I forgot to knock that off, so it's going to be a little stronger on that side. That's okay. There we go. And then we'll add just a little bit of blending around the bottom. Knock it off. It's like telling your kids, knock it off. There we go. We'll add a little bit of color just at the bottom. Alrighty, so we created that fun mask. We used our pool party, our blending brush, and now we have a fun background for our fussy cut little snowmen and penguins. So let's create a scene. Now I'm not going to be using any foam tape for this because it's going in a pocket. So we're just going to go ahead and add some adhesive on the backs of these guys, like so. Now one of my trees is smaller than the other, and if you're thinking about creating a scene, you know that things that are farther away are smaller. And so, sorry, frog in my throat. Let's add our big snowman here. We want to kind of have him sitting down in one of the little snowy spots there, like so. And we're going to have the smaller of the trees back here to create a little scene going on, causing a scene. And then let's have this little guy with his scarf come along here. He's gonna kind of hang out like that on top of that little snowy hill. And then this guy with the little Tukey, he's gonna hang around back here by the snowman. And let's take the larger tree, because the closer it gets to where we are, the bigger it's gonna get. And we're gonna add our tree just down there like that. Alrighty, how is that? That's a cute little scene, isn't it? And then we could even add a little bit of bling if we wanted. Let me see, maybe I'll grab the Rhinestone basic jewels, because I think those would be fun, just a little bit of sparkle. Let me grab my take your pick tool. Let's take just a couple. You know, we usually do 3s, but we're gonna do just a couple little sparkly bits. Do we want them together? Yeah, maybe we'll do 3. We'll put one there and one there. There we go. Some little sparkly bits so it looks like the glistening snow is happening. And we can go ahead and put this into our page, our photo page protector, like so. Isn't that cute? Now, if you're somebody who makes artist trading cards, ATC cards, then these are something that you might want to try, creating a little scene like this. But it also creates a nice little pocket embellishment for a pocket page. So now let's create another little one over here. And for that, we're going to use the snow globe that I was pointing out to you on the Snowy Scenes DSP. So we've got this little guy down here. And I've gone ahead and fussy cut him out. And I just want to show you what he looked like. There's our little guy. We've cut him out, left a little bit of the pink background all the way around. But then I decided I didn't want him looking like a snow globe exactly. And so I trimmed off the bottom of his globe. Now I'm going to save this because I might be able to use this if I make a shaker card or something and make it look like a snow globe. So don't throw that out. But instead, I'm going to bring in a piece of Pool Party cardstock. And we're just going to go ahead and stick this right to it. This one's going to be easy peasy simple. Creating our chill like a penguin layout. And I thought he just looked kind of cute there like that. Just centered on the pool party. And of course, we can add a little bit of bling bling to his section as well. So let's grab our tool, and we can even put a little bling in the center of the snowflakes, because that would be fun. And then one extra little bling, maybe over here, like that, just to jazz him up as well. And that's all we need to do. We don't really need any extra on there. I think he looks cute. He's created his own little scene. And again, we've got the little snowy hill that's carrying across from the one beside. And of course, now that we have done these two spaces in our photo protector, you're thinking to yourself, so where's the photo gonna go? We're gonna put our photo down here. Because I only have the one photo so far, we're going to do a single page. So I've got my photo. Maybe I'll leave this on the side here so you can still see it. We've got our one photo, and to make it kind of fit in with all of the embellishing that we've got going on our page, we've got a lot of the poppy parade and the black and the green and the pool party happening. So I thought it would be fun to add a little bit of pool party, or poppy parade, too many P's, as a bit of a mat around this photo. Now this green that's here is a very different green from that one, but that's okay. It will kind of blend in. It's all good. So let's add some adhesive to the back of our photo. And this photo is 3 1/4 by 3 1/8. So my my cardstock has been cut to show just a little bit of an edge all the way around. So it's just a little bit bigger. And oops, I went a little crooked, but it's still all right. It's still all right. Let me just grab a sip of water. My throat has been a little iffy for quite a while, and then on Thursday when we had no demo and no chat and craft, I was actually getting a scope done down my throat, and so that's making me a little as well, but not too bad. We're going to add also an extra mat of black cardstock, basic black on the back here, so that we have a little bit of that black from the penguins coming in as well, because we're saying he's chill like a penguin. A kid with no fear. There's no fear in that face, right? He's just careening down the hill. And I also liked, he's wearing a little blue hat with a cuff, and that I crocheted for him. And this little guy's kind of got, a blue hat with a cuff. So I thought that was kind of cute that they coordinated a little bit. So this is a little too small to put in this pocket. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in another pattern from the DSP collection. And isn't this gorgeous? It's got that beautiful pool party in the background. It's got sort of distressed inking look in there. It's got some white snowflakes of various sizes. It's got green snowflakes. That's kind of fun because that ties in to the green in our trees and the green on the toboggan and the crazy carpet. And I love that there's large ones and mid-size ones and tiny ones. And it's all just kind of layered upon layered upon layered. There's not a lot you need to do with a pattern like this. So we're just going to go ahead and put our photo on here. And that's also a reason why I did the double matting on my photo. For one, I want it to coordinate with the penguins, but also it needs a little bit of something to separate the photo from the designer series paper, because it's got a strong pattern and you need a little break for your eyes so that you don't get overwhelmed by pattern. Okay, so by adding those 2 layers, it really brings the attention back to the photo and not to the pattern, although we love the pattern. Now I'm going to bring in some letters that I have die cut using the mini alphabet dies. And these are a really lovely set of dies. There's the alphabet, and a lot of them are duplicated, so you can get lots of stuff out of just one run through, and they're all stuck together, so that makes it easy. Then there's some characters for other languages, and then there's also some punctuation. So I have gone ahead and cut out, now I don't want to pick these up because I'll probably drop the little pieces. So I'll just trade sides here. I've cut out the word wee because that's kind of the sound I think his insides were making as he was flying through the air. So we've got the word wee going on here. And to be able to stick those down, I'm going to use some liquid glue. I've also got an exclamation mark. That's the bit I figured I would lose, is the little dot for the exclamation mark. So I'm going to take my liquid glue and put a little skiff of it here on my hand, and then grab my tweezers that always try to blend in with everything on my spinny thing. And I'm just going to grab it with my tweezers, tap it into the glue, tap it off, and then go ahead and put it on here. So we're going to do wonky on purpose with our letters. We're not going to try and line them up. We're going to make them wonky because we're heading down the hill. So we're just going to give her because that's what Joshua was doing. No fear. Just off he rocketed. And a little bit more glue. It's better to put a little less glue on your hand and have to re-glue than to have too much and have it smooshing everywhere. So then tap our second E. Wee. And then the exclamation mark we're adding on here. So how many people who were watching have watched Mr. Popper's Penguins or read the book? Have you? Let me know in the comments. Or seen, what is it, The March of the Penguins? That was a really cool movie. I also like the penguins from Madagascar. My favorite line is, "Cute and cuddly, boys, cute and cuddly." You know, because they're kind of military penguins. So when they get caught in things, they try to look cute and cuddly, so they get away with stuff. And that's kind of my philosophy with pets too. If I was going to have a pet, I'd want it to be cute and cuddly. Unfortunately, my husband is allergic to pretty much all the cute and cuddly that there is. So we don't have any pets. We did have a fish, and his name was Mr. Fishy. He was a goldfish, a red fantail, and when we got him, he was just a little fish like this big. I think we paid like $4, you know, in a plastic bag at the pet store. And unfortunately, when he passed away, it was kind of sad. We had got him when Joshua was just probably 6 months old. And when Joshua would have been in grade 5, yeah, probably grade 4 or 5, Mr. Fishy was probably, what's that, like 8 inches long, and he had a gorgeous tail, and he would have been worth a lot more at that point because larger goldfish are more expensive. Yeah, he passed away. So sad, but yeah. So since then we haven't had any. My daughter was lobbying hard for a hamster at one point, but I think she gave up. And it was probably a good thing. All right, so let's add a little bit of bling on here to give a little highlight around our wee. Now, you may have noticed that I haven't set aside any spot for adding any journaling on here. And journaling is important. And my plan will be that I will create a second page to go on the left-hand side. And on that side, there will be journaling as well as a couple more photos. So there we have our completed layout, done so quickly, super easy. all we did, we took a little bit of time to do some fussy cutting from the pattern papers. We took our piece of basic white cardstock. We created our own stencil or mask. It's as simple as cutting a wavy line, cut one that's a little closer, one that's a little longer, and then just back and forth and back and forth. And you're going to use your blending brush to add a little extra ink to the top, and then just a little skiff of ink on each one as you work your way down, and kind of alternate angles as you come down to make little snow drifts. And then, of course, a little bit of bling. We used the top half of a snow globe over here to create sort of a little vignette and added in the blings. And of course, you may notice we have three penguins. And then we have 2 trees and a snowman. That's another 3 in a triangle. And then we've done bling with those basic rhinestone jewels. We added in double matting to bring in both the poppy parade and the black colors from the penguins on top of that gorgeous snow flaky goodness that's happening in behind. Adding in our die cuts for a little bit of a title or an accessory sentiment on our layout, and a few more bling, of course. So I hope you enjoyed seeing that quick and easy pocket page come together to go into my little pocket page album that we have been creating. And let's go ahead and find where we're going to stick it in. I'm going to add it here, and the left side page will now have some 3x4 pockets because it will go on the back of that one. So when I get those other photos, I can go ahead and stick that in there and use some of the items similar to this side over here to carry it across. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And if you create a little scene like this and create your own mask, I would love to see what you create with it, and post a picture when I post photos of this layout. And then we can all see and be inspired by your creativity as well. I hope you have a great rest of the evening. We will be on at 7 o'clock for Chat and Craft, and we will see you then. All right, toodaloo, bye.